This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.
Welcome to the DJ Scream Show. You know who it is, DJ Scream. Listen, got a personal partner, family member that just pulled up on me unexpectedly, and I said I'm putting him down on the DJ Scream Show. Deuce the Scoop is here. What's up, man?
What's going on, Mr. Scream? How you doing, man?
We're going to try to not make this awkward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't be saying awkward stuff and make it this awkward, man. Let's keep it professional.
I'm 1,000% not going to be awkward.
Sports guru.
No, we are going to talk about the time when you was 9 years. No, I'm just joking.
Nah. What's up with you though, bro?
No, I'm good, man. I'm here for the week. Just finishing up after some draft coverage. So
yeah,
just excited to be home for a minute and kind of move around the city.
I want to talk about your transition because obviously anybody, you know what I'm saying, that knows about Atlanta knows P. Dukes, you know what I'm saying, and what you did on the rap level. You know what I'm saying, a lot of legendary mixtapes and parties. And then a lot of people just know you from just being culture, lifestyle, just dope. You know what I'm saying? How did you land in this space saying that, man, I'm going to be like the Atlanta voice for sports culture? How did you land in that space?
Man, just really God. If you really want to just get into it step by step, I literally started on Twitter. You know, I got a lot of friends in the sports industry. Started on Twitter, just started tweeting out sports information, built a quick following, parlayed that into a job with 24/7 Sports covering Auburn. Got picked up as a national analyst with On3, and now I just pretty much built my own platform. So it literally went like that, and it went fast. So that's why I said it can't be nobody but God.
Now, just keeping it real, like, you know, in the world of rap music and several other worlds, there's always some BS there, right?
Yeah.
So what's some of the BS in the sports culture that's similar to the BS in the rap culture that you witness?
Politics, man. Sometimes the best player won't play based on other situations, and it could be basketball, football, baseball, contracts, finances get involved where the best person for a particular spot may not get that spot based on an outside factor. So it's a red tape in pretty much every industry, and sports is no different.
Was there a moment? Was there like an F it moment, a middle finger moment where you're like, man, F this, man, I'm going back to watch the road?
No.
No.
No, you know what? It's never been that because, like, they say when you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. My bad days are good days in sports, so it really doesn't affect me. But I've had some tough days where if you want to break a story and you got a guy that you've been tracking for months and months and months, and then you turn on ESPN and the story pops up, but you couldn't say it because, hey, man, you know, I don't want you to leak it. But it's on ESPN. That can get frustrating, but sometimes, getting juice for a story sometimes can be hard. You be like, man, I know I had this story and somebody else got it before me, but based on how close you may be to that particular subject, then they can say, all right, well, you can't say nothing. Wait till I give you the word, and somebody beats you to it. I've had a couple of days like that, or even if I'm in the mentor space and I tell somebody like, hey, this is how you should do it, and they just like, I tell them stand up and they sit down, and then 2 weeks later they're like, why ain't you tell me? I'm like, bro, okay. So, you can get frustrated, but no, I never look at it like a bad day, man. I count it all as grace.
So me personal relationship, knowing you and knowing that you're a massive fan of not only Bo Jackson shoes, but like Deion Sanders shoes, right?
Right.
So what is the mental moment you're having going from trying to get the new pair of Deion's online to sitting down and actually breaking bread and talking to him in person? Like, is that a mind? Like, what's going on in your mind? Are you just kind of like, because I met some of my idols, and for me, it's kind of like when I met Andre 3000, it's like, I'm going to think about the fact that I met Andre 3000 after this meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to think about it now because I might say something stupid. You dig what I'm saying? So how was that moment and what went through your mind?
Man, I think Coach Prime in this phase, like, and I think if you separate the two, then it's easier. So if you think about the Deion Sanders who we grew up watching, hot stepping down the sideline and the shoes and the flair and all of that, then, yeah, you can get caught up in the celebrity. But when you talk to Coach Prime, the same Coach Prime who's recruiting kids, who's talking to parents all day long, the same Coach Prime who raised his kids through a youth program all the way up to the NFL, then it gets a lot easier because he's looking to make you comfortable. And I think what people don't realize is he's really he wants to be seen as a regular guy. When he wants his respect because he's earned it. But outside of that, he's a regular guy, and I think our relationship grew because he encouraged me. don't just call me about sports.
Mm.
And I think one of our best conversations where I got some information that he told me I can use came from me calling him for advice. So I would just say I think a lot of the times we confuse the two. And we think about Deion Sanders and Coach Prime as one, but really they're two separate entities, and sometimes the celebrity got bigger than the man. And I'm telling you, dog, like he's probably one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever met.
That's dope, man. That's dope. When you talk about media personalities and you talk about sports, there's a lot of different names you could throw out there. Who do you think – we could ask you who your influences are. That's a standard question, right? But who do you think are not only your influences but so vital to the culture when it comes to sports media icons? Like, what's some names that just come? It don't have to be one or two or three. We're going to just throw out some names.
I mean, of course, Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. for sure. So
I like Stephen A. Smith because he always goes back and spends time with the National Association of Black Journalists. So I got to meet him last year, spend about 5 to 10 minutes with him. He just kind of put me on game, and then he actually featured me about 2 weeks later. So I'm going to always have a healthy and a lot of respect for Stephen A. Smith. I think somebody else that I think is becoming iconic, and they're not there yet, but they're getting there, is Monica McNutt. What she's been able to do as far as transitioning from broadcasting games to becoming a everyday personality on ESPN, and now into the podcast world, like she's killing it. And I would say, man, and shout out to the A, man, that boy Juju got it, man. like Juju, man. I like Juju, man. Matter of fact, we had a flight not too long ago where we were sitting by each other and we got to rap a little bit, but Juju is someone who I saw being able to be authentically himself, and that kind of just let me know, like, hey, bro, like, there's a place for you. Even if you may, I may not be the most buttoned-up guy in the world, and I may, zig when some people would say you probably should have zagged, but he's someone that I think even where with the Dan Le Batard show where they've allowed him to spread his wings and he's taken off. So I would say that'd be my 3 as far as my influence right now.
Taking it all the way outside of sports, man. You got the future here. Shouts to young Cam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna figure out how to get Cam on camera. But what's near and dear to you outside of just sports? Let's talk field right now. Put Dukes the scoop aside, man. What's some of the stuff you be on a day-to-day?
Man, really just fatherhood. Like that's my favorite thing in the world, like being a dad. Like, from watching him just being able to grow up and blossom, and him being able to see the fruit of his labor from how much training we do. Some years ago when he really wasn't that coordinated, and he was like, Dad, I want to learn, and he took on the challenge. And when I tell you, like in the past 2 years, from like going from that to where he is now athletically and making straight A's, and
so the rumors are true. He's stepping on everything.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
That's what I'm hearing.
He's
stepping on everything.
On everything, man. Cam, he's gonna put his face in the fan. Like, he ain't gonna play. Like, if you tell him to make a tackle, he's going to make a tackle. No,
is true, Cam? Yep.
But outside of that, outside of fatherhood, family, man. As you know, like my mom passed away a couple of years ago. So not just immediate family, but extended family, the people that miss her, like just trying to be available and being a good influence for the community. College Park, making sure I ride back by the house, south side. So, I think that's the most important thing for me right now is community and family.
Man, on the DJ Scream Show, some people love it, some people hate it, and they got to deal with it. They keep listening, so thank you that you listen. But I do very emotional, heartfelt Atlanta sports rants, right? Wherever the Braves are, that's fine because they gave us a championship. So you get a championship, you have your ups and downs, you know what I'm saying, Atlanta United. But particularly, I'm tough on the Hawks because I feel like we shouldn't have to be here. Better decisions, and we're not here. I'm even harder on the Falcons because it's like, why are we here?
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm very proud of the draft that they just had. You know what I'm saying? I think that defense should stand on their business.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm very optimistic. But my fear with the optimism is that I've been optimistic before. So I guess the question comes, when you look at Atlanta Falcons and like Cleveland Browns and certain organizations, do you think that certain organizations just don't get it, regardless if they have talent on their roster? Like, they just don't get it. Like, the Detroit Lions started to get it, whatever it is, right? The Philadelphia Eagles won a championship, still were competitors for the years between that championship and this championship.
Mm-hmm.
And a big part of the reason they got that championship wasn't rocket science. Saquon Barkley's available. Let's get him.
Right.
That's not rocket science.
Right.
All-pro quarter running back is available that's going to run for 2,000 yards
Right.
at below market value. Let's pay him.
Mm-hmm.
So just give me your spiel as to what's going on with the Falcons, the Hawks organization, and the it factor to be contenders.
I think the it factor comes down to keeping it simple, stupid. No disrespect to any of the front offices in the city, but sometimes you can just do too much.
Way too much.
I think the Eagles, like you said, like, okay, Saquon Barkley still has a lot of tread left on his tires.
Mm-hmm.
Pay him. Let's run read option with one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. It just made sense.
Mm-hmm.
The University of Georgia had one of the best defenses in history.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go get a bunch of those guys and see how it works in the NFL.
And let me ask you this question just real quick.
Yeah.
You have that shirt, right?
Right.
Would you get that shirt with a red, like if they're sitting next to each other, would you get that shirt with a red Nike, the same shirt, same exact, everything's the same, with a red, you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah. Why? It doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense. Why would we?
For a lot of money. Would you pay a lot of money? Or if you paid a lot of money for that, would you still get the same shirt? Even though one might be better than the other.
Right.
You already got one of them shirts.
Why would you go get the exact same one? And
you stuck with the shirt. So regardless, you got to pay it off. You
Right.
can't return it. There's no returns.
And so look, and what you're getting at is you have to have better foresight, right, on what you're buying in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know I got the same color shirt, to your point, this is a very not rare, unique color shirt. But I know that this may not be the best fit for me long term. Then I would wait until the next season to buy this color shirt and get something else that wouldn't cost me as much. I wouldn't invest so much into a shirt that I know was only going to be a temporary fix. And that's the same thing the Falcons did last year with the redundancy at the quarterback position. But can you be mad about them drafting Michael Penix? Yes, we were upset about the amount of capital that Kirk Cousins has invested in him, but outside of that, you can't be mad at Michael Penix. The Kirk Cousins contract to get easier to handle after this year. You did a lot in the draft, right? So you do have starters. You hope they get 3 starters out of this draft. Pierce and J-Walk out of UGA. You got an edge rusher. You got Leonard Floyd, so you can get some pass rush this year. You get Billy Bowman, who I think is maybe the steal of this whole class. When you thinking about him in the nickel. Really good player. He gives me Honey Badger vibes. And then we talk about Xavier Watts, who some people had as a round 2 pick, being able to get him in the 3rd round. I think the Falcons did a lot to get better.
They did.
This is the thing about the Falcons. It ain't everybody in the league got their own it factor.
Yeah.
The Falcons still, they continue to build these stadiums on top of churches, dog. Like the falconing is real. Like every time it feels like something going right for the Falcons, even the draft.
So you say it is like late Lanier vibes.
Yeah, for sure. Like, think about this, man. Even in the best draft that everybody's happy about with the Falcons in a long time, right?
Yeah.
Then you literally have the son of the defensive coordinator prank call probably the most popular Falcon in history. His son. Yeah. Like just weird stuff on top of weird stuff like, oh, well, we know it's an NFL team. Of all the NFL teams that it could have been, it was the Atlanta Falcons.
Just
so
said that.
But, it's one of those things where they my Falcons and we're talking about it, but can't nobody else.
Yeah, I get it. And in defense of the Falcons and the Hawks, I say this all the time on the DJ Scream show too. It's like, I remember going to a Hawks game, and I think we were paying like the 76ers or something like that. I don't know if it was playing, playoff, whatever the case is. And it just felt like I was in Philly. I just looked around and just feel like we in Philly. This Atlanta, it don't feel like we don't have that Golden State Warrior pride. Like our audience can't shift the game. Our audience doesn't impact the game. For the Falcons either. It doesn't impact the game where it's like, it's so loud in here in Ravens Stadium today, we don't know how the other quarterback's going to play. We don't have that factor. So I put that on the people and on the fans that this is Atlanta. Everybody's welcome. We know it's a melting pot. But these sports games got to feel like sports games. When you go to a Braves game, it feel like a Braves game.
This is the difference. See, the Braves have done things on a consistent basis to make you feel like when you spend that hard-earned money to go to the game, you got a better chance than not of seeing a win.
Right. But
The Falcons make you feel like I'm finna go in here. Basically, I'm going to a day party. So whether or not we win or lose, I'm going to be okay.
Brunch.
Yeah, I'm going to brunch. We finna swag surf. It's going to be 3 concerts. And the football isn't the main attraction at the Falcons game. That's a problem. When the Falcons were winning, there was no better home the Super Bowl season. There was no better home field advantage in the NFL that year. You could have Lambeau anywhere. Seattle didn't matter. But when the Falcons continue to be 7-9, and we know that statistically,
nobody wants to talk about it. After 28-3, I mean, that was demoralizing to the fan base and to the culture of the Falcons. I mean,
it's like an emotional nuke hit the city. Everybody was down.
It did.
The MARTA train was running slow.
Yeah,
everybody was messed up that day, bro.
That's
worst Monday in Atlanta history.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying that one thing you got to give Cleveland Browns, man. They can be 1-100. It's gonna be sold out. And they're going to go, and they're going to root for them Cleveland Browns, and they're going to root for them. And there's some teams like that, Chicago Bears.
I mean, are we promoting people to be emotionally immature?
No, I'm not
Are
saying
we promoting people to be pain freaks? Like, what are we doing here?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it almost ain't safe to go to a Bears game and root for another team. You understand what I'm saying? Culture. I'm just talking about culture, not being stupid. I'm saying culture.
Man, look, it's too much to do. You know, everybody in Atlanta think they famous, dog.
I got you.
So at the end of the day, it's like, man, everybody time matters. When you so at Cleveland, it ain't a whole lot to do outside of there.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, in the Chicago games, they got a Super Bowl, so they know how it feels. Even if the 1980, like, listen, I would rather hear stories about the 1985 Super Bowl team and go watch the Icky Shuffle and all of this stuff in the refrigerator period. Why do I know all this? And that's what Chicago, they can at least try to go revisit that greatness by going into the stadium. What greatness are we going to revisit when we go to the Mercedes-Benz? So I think it's up to the Falcons to really bring it out of us.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And they can do it, man. And this is the thing. If they get it together, they break the curse of the churches. Michael Penix, my boy, like, we got a quarterback with a do-rag. If anybody can do it, right, he can do it. So if once, I guarantee you, do you not remember when Vic had the city on fire?
No, I remember all that. I'm just saying, what you're saying makes full sense. I'm just saying that I remember that just as much as I remember the red jerseys. I was Cam's age, younger than Cam. Like, it's always been disappointing. It's always been, except for that season.
Right.
I mean, even when, what's my man, Mike, the coach, the 2nd and 1 running through the middle, 3rd and 1 running through the middle, 4th and 1 running through the middle.
Mike Smith.
Mike Smith, like,
yeah.
What are we doing?
I mean, at the end of the day, dog, like you said, it's always been disappointing. So it's hard for me to put that onus on the fans. I think they got to give us a consistent product, and you're going to see Atlanta turn into one of those places that you don't want to go play.
But are we spoiled?
No, we're not
spoiled.
Because
what I'm saying is that we should have pride. Like, right now, people have given up on Atlanta music. We should have pride in music. We won.
Mm-hmm.
We should have pride. We should have pride in Belly Gang and whoever else, BHMP. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should have pride because we're winners, right?
Right.
So I'm saying, are we a little bit spoiled?
Have we been winners we won the championship in music.
For 20 years almost. 15, however many years.
The Falcons won a championship.
What I'm saying is we don't have pride in our music.
Who don't?
Atlanta.
I just got through listening to some Atlanta
I'm
music.
not saying you. We're not saying you. As a whole, it's like, oh, man, Atlanta. There's so many complaints. Let me tell you, there's complaints about the clubs, which there should be.
Right.
There's complaints about the music, which there should be.
Right.
There's complaints about the sports. There's more complaining than solving going on for the culture. That's all I'm saying.
Man,
and we won with the clubs and the music. We won with all that.
Listen, all of that. Maybe I'm not in tune enough with the culture to hear the complaining. I see a few podcasts here and there. That's cool. I'm not letting the Falcons off the hook.
I got you.
They got to win. The Hawks.
I got you.
They got to win.
Yeah, I got you.
The Hawks it was so loud when the Hawks were playing Boston in the early 2000 teens when they were going back and forth. Like, it was so loud when they were beating the Magic, when they had Dwight Howard and Orlando was on that run. Like, it was loud. It was loud when the Falcons were going crazy that year. But, dog, like, music, I can get it. And then, you know, there can be a little bit of fatigue there, too. So I'm not going to discount Atlanta's love for the new music artists, but there's a little bit of fatigue, and you know, but the new generation has to love their music the way we loved ours. Like right now,
I get it.
I'm telling you, like right now, the new Frankie Beverly and Maze is that concert they do over there at Wolf Creek. Pastor Troy Kilo and all them, they're gonna be able to perform till they 90.
Yeah,
but that's how much we love them in our generation.
Yeah.
So it's up to it's up to the new generation to support their artists as much as we supported ours in Atlanta.
Got you. Final thing I want to talk to you about is giving us some insight, because you are Dukes the Scoop and you've predicted many of things that you've been predicting stuff since I damn near known you, but now it's like coming to the surface in mainstream media. So as we go into the rest of 2025 and move into the summer and the rest of the year, what's 2 or 3 predictions you're going to make that's going to happen in sports culture?
Man, first of all, I got the Falcons winning the NFC South this year.
I could go for that. I can go for that.
I got the Falcons winning the NFC South.
Man, them Bucks is tough, but I can go for that.
Yeah, I think this is the year they get it done. You fix the pass rush. I think defensively you got enough starters there to be competitive, and offensively I think that you can, like, the second year of the offense is always like the year where there isn't a ton of film on Zach Robinson's offense out there yet, but there's also going to be more familiarity with Mike Penix in that offense, with Bijan, the wide receiver. So I think this is the year it all clicks for the Falcons.
It's boom or bust for me. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna stay with the same. Right now, the Braves, they struggle. They went 0-7 out of the gate. I think when Ronald Acuna gets back, should be momentarily in the next few weeks. We're going to see one more guy come up from the minor leagues, and I think the Braves make a run this year. So,
hope so.
I'm going to go with that. And finally, I'm going to keep it in the city, man. This the year that Ant-Man is officially the face of the league, man. I think Ant-Man wins it all this year. Ant-Man, Oakland City shouted, man. Hey, we waiting on you, man. For sure.
Hey, man.
Ant-Man, you going to – hey. Right now, 96 want to be in Atlanta. I'm predicting Ant-Man is going to be the one to bring the championship back to Atlanta.
I think it's going to be Ant and Shay, and you know I'm going for Ant.
For sure.
Boy, Shay and them different too. They different too, but I'm riding with Ant for sure. But Shay and them different.
Man.
They got them brooms out.
Shay, Club Shay. Shay from Magic City. T-Wolves in 5.
T-Wolves in 5, man. Big shouts out to Deuce the School pulling up on me on the DJ Screen Show, giving that social media and let them know where they can check out your many different media productions and podcasts and such.
No, for sure. At Dukes the Scoop, DUKESTHESCOOP on Instagram and Twitter, now known as X, and on YouTube. Just put Dukes the Scoop in, find my channel, and you'll see plenty of content for sure.
Appreciate you, man. www.thedjscreamshow.com is 96.1 to be. Salute.
This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.